It's November 2nd. It's almost 8 o'clock. I've been sitting here for a while now in a different part of where I was yesterday. I'm with one of our other buddies, and he saw a ton of sign in here yesterday. And he's way out behind me, a couple 100 yards. And he said they're chasing in this area like crazy. So I only have one tag left. It's just my buck tag. Got my doe last night. She weighed 100 pounds, fully clean. She was really big though. But yeah, she was just, we were sitting there on the edge of a private piece, and the guy I was with stood up, looked behind me in the field to see if there was anything, and I thought he looked that way because he heard noise, and I looked behind him because I heard noise, and it was a doe. I was like, don't move, don't move, don't move. And I was kind of just looking around. I thought it was looking at us, but it wasn't. And she looked back and then started walking towards us a little bit with her head down. And I raised the crossbow, and he barely turned his head, and she kept walking, and she got to about like 8 yards, and she stopped, and she looked right at us after I turned the camera on. And I shot her right center, right here, and destroyed her lung because she was facing us, but I destroyed her lung. She went 200 yards. The bolt stuck in her for 200 yards. It fell out, and then she started pouring out blood for 50 yards and died. So I was really happy about that. So hopefully I can shoot a big buck. I'm gonna pass up some little ones, maybe some little 8-pointers. If it's a really nice, huge 8, I'll shoot it. But I want to get something that's impressive and not just around here have them say, oh, it's just another buck. So I'm hoping to get something pretty big and exciting, because that's what I come down here for. So hopefully something walks by, and yeah. It's just almost 10:30 now, and nothing came out this morning, but we're going down to a gas pad, and that one guy, he's gonna go around one side of it and just look and walk through the woods. I'm going around the other. We're just gonna meet up in the middle. Hopefully something will come by us. I just barely stepped into the woods and had either a huge 4 or a 4 with low tiny guard tines, but nothing I would shoot unless it was the last day here. So I grunted because at first I just saw antlers, and he just ignored me. He kept walking nose to the ground, 70 yards, and that's about it. So hopefully a bigger buck's in here that will walk by me, because that got me pumped up. There's a spike right there. He's just standing there right now. He's just looking around. Where is it? There he is. He's looking around. I just saw a small buck a few minutes ago run past me. That's about it. I don't know if you can see right below the spike's head, but there's another deer back there. That's a smaller buck. Can't really tell what he is yet, but they've been standing there for a few minutes now. It's the night sit of November 2nd, and this morning I ended up seeing 7 deer, 3 doe, 4 buck. One was definitely legal. The other 3 I wasn't sure about, but they were all small, so I wouldn't shoot any of them anyways out here, because I'm going for something big. It's 4 p.m. now, so we have about 2.5 hours until shooting hours is over. I'm sitting in a spot tonight where it's just below a couple 100 yards, where I shot my doe last year, and they mowed all the fields, so it's not brush anymore, and it's mostly just open grass instead of goldenrod, but there are some patches still of goldenrod. We found a huge road walking in, and yeah, that's about it. Hopefully I can get my buck tonight so I don't have to go after them anymore, and I can go video other people. Otherwise, I'm excited for tonight's hunt, and hopefully something comes out. Last night, my phone pretty much died without being on it because of the cold, so I didn't record anything on it. But this morning, November 3rd, we're gonna go down here. Well, I'm going down here into the bottom under this big gas pad, and it's kind of swampy down here. My stepdad went in just above me, where I saw some buck yesterday, chasing some doe. Last night I saw a little 3-point, maybe 65 yards. That's about it. We slept in today because it was cold, and we were really tired from the past 2 or 3 days. But the other 2 guys that went out said that they didn't see a single deer until 10 o'clock, so maybe it was good that we slept in. So we're gonna get down here, sit till about 12:30, 1 o'clock before we regroup and figure out where we're gonna go for the night. Last night when my stepdad came out of the woods, he walked into the parking lot where you parked the truck, and there was a little 6-pointer sitting there, and he didn't move, so he just grunted at the 6-pointer, walked closer, grunted, walked closer, and he got within 8 to 10 feet of the 6-pointer, and the thing was just eating, standing there, didn't even care that he was there. So hopefully that's a good sign of them not caring about wind either, because the wind is swirling pretty bad. So hopefully we'll see some deer and get a crack at one. Yeah. It's the night sit of the 3rd day, and it's 4:30, and we're sitting in the climber tonight in the middle of some brush. It gets really thick. It's like some grassy trails that are not mowed down anymore, and they all meet right here in the middle, and there's big giant goldenrod and pheasant fields up above me, so hopefully they'll come down from those or walk these trails because it's pretty thick in the woods. Tom is just down the trail 100 yards from me, sitting in some other brush on the trail that he sat in last night, but he's sitting on the ground. So yeah, we had this morning when we went out, he saw, well, he didn't see anything. He had this buck chasing a doe, he thinks, through a swampy area. He could just hear him at like 80 yards, but couldn't see him. And he was grunting like crazy, he said. And he said that he heard a snort wheeze, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, that's about it. So Hopefully one comes by tonight, because I'm really itching to shoot one with some antlers. So we'll see you then. I think there's 2 deer to my left. Like, yeah, they're coming back. There's 2 deer to my left, and they are. They just blew up at Tom. But he grunted and they're coming back, so maybe they're bucks. Hopefully. I can hear one walking, but I can't see it at all. Hopefully I'll come out to the trail over here first. Yeah, they're walking through. I don't know why they're going though. I think they're like 10 yards behind him. Alright, well, let's hope they come through. Because I want to shoot one. So, stay tuned. So, ended up being tonight that the deer that I thought I had heard was a deer. It was a big, huge 6. Might have had brow tines that we're not really sure. But it was definitely a big 6 and legal. It came up behind Tom, and it started blowing and blowing and blowing. So I was 100 yards up the hill, and I was like, that's not a good sign. So I started grunting pretty good, and then I stopped. Like 30 seconds later, he took off behind Tom. And then he came back around him to below him at 50 yards, and Tom had one little clear shot, but it was a little bit of brush, so he shot, and he missed just right. And then the deer took off right in front of him, out in the brush, and when the deer came right back, right to him, but he came between us, and I saw him at 55 yards through the brush, but I couldn't see anything, and he was too far to shoot for me. So that was unfortunate, but we did end up seeing a good buck on public land, and not just little scrub bucks, because that's all we've seen. I've seen maybe 30 deer in the past 3 days while hunting, and 20 of them have been little spikes to 4-pointers, so it was nice to see something different. We have Thursday, Friday, Saturday to hunt and shoot a buck, so hopefully we'll do that. We'll go back out tomorrow morning. Undecided to where I'm gonna go yet, but we'll find a good spot and hopefully shoot a good one.